The most recent developments in the saga that has been Ray Fisher versus Warner Brothers are the craziest yet. Let's break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button and let's get right into this report. And yes, we're doing it again. I'm talking about the Ray Fisher versus Warner Brothers thing again, and this is partially because it is a very, very important story that Hollywood seems to not want you guys to hear about, but also I'm kind of secretly hoping that if we continue to make a big deal of this, we could get a third Batman in the Flash movie. That's a joke, but kind of serious, as I will explain in a bit. And so, as many of you pointed out, the day I dropped the last Ray Fisher video that I did, Jason Mamoa backed up Ray Fisher on Instagram, but at that time it was just something simple as saying I stand with Ray Fisher via either Instagram story or a post or something like that. But it got way deeper than that on September 14th. That is when Jason Mamoa posted this on Instagram. He said this shit has to stop and needs to be looked at. Ray Fisher and everyone else who experienced what happened under the watch of Warner Brothers Pictures needs proper investigation. I just think it's fucked up that people released a fake Frosty announcement without my permission to try to distract from Ray Fisher speaking up about the shit way we were treated on Justice League reshoots. Serious stuff went down. It needs to be investigated and people need to be held accountable. Hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher. Aloha Jay. And if you don't know what he is talking about, there was a literal announcement made. Like, Warner Brothers went to the press, to the Hollywood trades, with the announcement of Jason Mamoa being Frosty the Snowman in an upcoming movie that would be produced by Geoff Johns. And I remember this moment because certain people in our community pointed that out. They said, well, I don't know. I don't know if this could actually be real. I don't know if Ray's going on about this, that, second, and the third, because look, his boy over here is doing stuff with Geoff Johns. Obviously, that means it ain't that deep. Guys, that story's fake. It was never real. I literally just showed you an Instagram post where Jason Mamoa is telling you that it's fake. This dude is telling you that it's fake. I'm also going to show you these tweets by Ray from September 4th because they further explain his position on this independent firm that is conducting the investigation, right? And I'll explain where we're at with all of this for the people that are lost, but here's what he said. To date, the independent firm hired by Warner Brothers Pictures has conveniently avoided contacting key witnesses who gave damning statements to Warner Brothers HR. They've also started interviews with, and have since ghosted, witnesses that have implicated former and current top-level executives. Others, including an implicated individual that called me to apologize, have already been interviewed. We will not let any investigator cherry-pick interviewees that best suit Warner Brothers Pictures' false narrative and scapegoating efforts. All with stories will be heard. A over E accountability is greater than entertainment. Because you, of course, will recall that after Ray Fisher made the statements about Walter Hamada contacting him in order to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus if he would relent on Geoff Johns, you will recall after Ray said that, Warner Brothers put out a big press release to all the Hollywood trades to get them to talk about how Ray Fisher never cooperated with the investigation. Then Ray snapped back with receipts in a SAG union that has the record of this actually taking place, where Ray did talk to the investigator, and after realizing that this investigator was biased and had a witness that he didn't disclose to Ray, he stopped the call and reached out to the people of the SAG Screen Actors Guild Union for advice. And I'm just waiting for Warner Brothers' new statement. I'm really curious as to how they could possibly try to spin this situation now, because it's actually way worse than them just lying about Jason Mamoa being in a Frosty movie that's produced by Geoff Johns. Enter this tweet by Ray Fisher. Unfortunately, the fake Frosty news with Jason wasn't the only PR tactic used to distract from the seriousness of the Justice League situation. Ben returning as Batman was clearly meant to be revealed at DC Fandom. I'll give you one guess as to why Warner Brothers Pictures likely jumped the gun. And he shows here in his tweets that he was talking about how there's a new independent third-party investigation being launched on August 20th. And then Ben Affleck will return as Batman in the Flash by Anthony Breznican literally less than 2 hours later. released. Okay, so that is all of the official news. That is what is being talked about. That's where we are currently at with all of this drama, okay? And yeah, a lot of Hollywood people being super quiet about this. And I want to say a couple of different things at the back half of this video. Number one, I totally get that a lot of people are not with Ray Fisher in this regard. I find it confusing. I think it's actually pretty bizarre. A lot of people that are in very anti-Hollywood camps can't seem to understand that this is another anti-Hollywood situation. Hollywood is clearly using mouthpieces, using access media, using all of these things that people claim to have a problem with and really hate. They're using that all against Ray Fisher to squash this. And yet I see a lot of people with the attitude of like, Ray's just entitled brat. He's just whining. His boss was mean to him. So what? Now, look, you're free to think whatever you think, obviously, like, you know, live your life. But I've told you many times, there are things that I know. There are things that I've heard from behind the scenes. I stand with Ray Fisher. I am damn sure some really messed up stuff happened, and I think people should be held accountable. I also realize that Geoff Johns is an incredibly valuable asset to Warner Brothers. And I get them trying to protect Geoff Johns, and by protecting Geoff Johns, protect their own brand. But just, man, like, I don't know how to really explain this to you guys, but ever since I started dipping my toe into Warner Brothers news and talking about what's going on with Warner Brothers, particularly with Ben Affleck, man, my life has been crazy. A lot of different people hitting me up. A lot of people, like, just really trying to control what I even talk about. The Hollywood trades are trying to, like, control YouTubers and shit at this point, right? So it's so wild to me that we are at where we are at with so many mixed opinions about the Ray Fisher thing. But I do want to say I understand where people are at. It's not necessarily my job to make people change their mind. I just report what's going on. I inject my opinion. I speculate about things. It's really just entertainment and to keep you guys appraised of what's going on in the world, right? So when it comes to this Ray Fisher situation, I'm curious, and I'd like to know in the comments, all of you anti-Ray Fisher people, how do you feel about them faking the Frosty news? Like, that's undeniable. And when it comes to the Batman news, guys, this is really weird because we were joking about this on the morning stream. I was joking about how Warner Brothers saw the problem with Ezra Miller and him chokeslamming that lady in Iceland, and they were like, hey, let's throw a Batman in the movie. That'll distract people. They won't be talking about Ezra Miller anymore. And then when the Ray Fisher stuff started happening, I was joking that Warner Brothers was like, hey, you know what? I don't want people talking about Ray Fisher. Throw another Batman. Throw another Batman into the Flash movie. And so that's why I've got the thumbnail. That's why I've been joking about throwing Batman into things to hide drama. But they literally did that. Think about it, guys. Think about it. This is Anthony Breznican. If you know anything about the Hollywood trades, he is the golden boy of the Hollywood trades. Anthony Breznican is a complete and total Access Media Hollywood mouthpiece. That's who he is. And I remember covering the Ben Affleck story and being confused that that guy is breaking the Ben Affleck story because the Ben Affleck story flies in the face of what a lot of Hollywood trades have been reporting in the Snyder Cut doesn't exist era. You know what I'm saying? And so I was confused. I was like, first of all, Fandom's in like 3 days. Why didn't they just announce this at Fandom? I don't understand. Number two, why is Anthony Breznican breaking this story? And when you think about it, it totally makes sense, dude. They're firing Batman. They're sprinkling Batman on you like Salt Bae, trying to get you to not talk about the Ray Fisher thing. They want me to make videos about Ben Affleck Batman and theories about this, that, second, and the third. They don't want me talking about this Ray Fisher thing. They want it to go away. They want it to be ignored. Well, I refuse. I refuse. And, you know, I was talking about this a little bit on the morning stream today, but like my arc in 2020 has been very interesting, man. I have become pretty jaded to Hollywood and pretty jaded towards a lot of the corruption that I see that's going on over there. And I'm just sick of it. So here it is. Your third Ray Fisher was right video. Do with it what you will. And I'm certainly curious as to what your thoughts are about this whole situation. And tell me in the comment section below. And now let's shout out one Marcus79. Yes, indeed, Jon Favreau said he wants The Mandalorian to be more like Game of Thrones. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know who directed the Batman film that had Val Kilmer as Batman. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like on it. And if you are enjoying the content over here, you will absolutely love the live streams we do straight from Nerdvengers Tower, Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click on the button in the center of the screen to check out our live streaming channel. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.